I'm gonna break out the calculator for this video. So we got $450,000. They want to do 3-year deal, 2-year options. Now, what that means is, so a few years ago at the peak of my production career, at this point I was working with Drake, Lil Wayne, Young Thug, Lil Baby, Gunna, a whole lot of super big artists. And I had a lot of dope songs in the pipeline. I had a lot of placements already. I had a lot of plaques already. And I was like, you know what? Now I think I want to start entertaining labels, because I was always against signing to a label, because I was like, I can do all this shit myself. I got all these relationships myself. Why do I need to sign to a label? But they started approaching me. I started having meetings with some of the biggest labels in the world, like Warner. I was meeting with Big John at Warner out in LA. I was meeting with people in London. I was meeting with different labels in Canada, things of that nature. And they started giving me pretty big offers. Warner Brothers have reached out to me through one of the A&Rs, and they offered to fly me out to discuss a co-publishing deal. So I happened to be in Malaysia at the time. They flew me from Malaysia to LA to sit down and have this deal. What happened was, I went in, I met everybody. I met Ryan Press, I met Big John, I met all the people that was at the top of the label, and we sat down in a room, and they were like, so tell us what you got going on. I explained all the artists I was working with, and I played a bunch of unreleased records, a bunch of unreleased Drake, a bunch of unreleased Young Thug, and Lil Wayne, and I told them, hey, this is what I got coming down the pipeline. I already got a lot of placements out. I'm already generating a significant amount of income from my music. And after we went back and forth, the lawyer ended up reaching out to me, and they offered me $350,000 to sign a co-pub deal with Warner. So me being in the game and being a little smart at the time, I decided to take that deal, and I went over to Sony Records, right? I went to Sony and I explained the situation, and I told them, hey, Warner Brothers is offering me $350,000, but I really rock with Sony. I really want to be a part of you guys' team. Is there any way you guys can beat this situation? So Sony ends up offering me $400,000. I'm very happy with this. I'm like, damn, 400K. Keep in mind, I'm like, 26 or something like that. 400K is a lot of money. Still right now, 400K is a lot of money. Then I ended up taking that same deal, that 400, and I went to meet up with my guy David over at Atlantic Records in the UK, because I was getting a lot of placement in the UK at the time. And I explained to them that, look, Warner and Sony is offering me $400,000. I really want to be here in the UK. So look, just offer me 400,000 pounds and I'll sign over here. Me knowing that 400,000 pounds is like $450,000 or something like that. So the deal is on the table, $450,000. Would you take this deal or not? I'm gonna break down how most publishing deals go and how mine was going, and you can see the decision that I made. So they were offering me $450,000 for a 3-year co-publishing deal with 2-year options. Now, Bricks, what does that mean? I'm gonna break out the calculator for this video. So we got $450,000. They want to do 3-year deal, 2-year options. Now, what that means is, we're gonna have a deal for 3 years. They're going to give me $450,000. At the end of that 3 years, they have an option to keep me for another 2 years. And at the end of that 2 years, they have another option to keep me for another 2 years. So it's 2-year options, right? So me doing my math, I'm like, okay, $450,000, 2-year options. That's 7 years in total, because why would the label just let a producer go? So really, they're giving me $450,000 for 7 years. Now, that's already not great in my mind, because I was already getting money at the time. Keep in mind, the guy who is getting me the deal and negotiating everything is acting as my manager in the UK. So he's going to get 20%. So it's not that I'm getting the full $450,000. I have to get that and give him 20% of that. And I'm going to put that on the calculator here. So he's getting 20% of $450,000. I have to give the lawyer who's discussing and doing all the contracts 5% of the deal. So let's take out 5% from $450,000. So now we're left with this number right here. Okay. Then I also have to pay taxes, which would be like 30% on $450,000, which brings the total now to here. So let's take this number and divide it into 7 years, because that is how long that I will be into this deal. And that will give us this number right here. Now you start to see why I was like, I can technically make more than this at McDonald's, bro. Like, it's a big number. It looks like a big, crazy number, 450K. It looked like I'm going to be the man. And then I did the actual math on it. and then I'll be stuck to this label for 7 years, and I will have to pay them back. Keep in mind, this is not just free money. I have to pay this money back. This is the record labels are kind of like banks, and this money that they're giving you is kind of like a loan that you have to pay back with your royalties over time. Okay. And I was like, do I really want to take a loan for this amount of money to be locked in a contract for 7 years when I already have $100,000 that I've made off of selling beats and mixing and doing sessions by myself with no contracts? So this is what I ended up doing. First of all, let me know in the comments if you would have took that deal. This is what I ended up doing. I had a bunch of super producer friends. All of my friends are super producers. So they're playing soccer over there. That's why they're doing this. But I ended up calling all of my super producer friends, Honorable Sino, London on the Track, Southside, TM88, Grizz, all Murder Beats. And I asked them, I told them the situation, and they were like, do you need the money? I said, not really. I was like, define need the money. They were like, do you have a baby on the way? Like, are you in a situation where you can't even pay your bills or you can't feed yourself, where you have something that really needs to get paid? I was like, no, I'm chilling. They was like, don't take that deal, bro. I was like, but it's 450 grand. They was like, nah, don't take that deal. I ended up talking to another really good friend of mine. His name is Needles. He did like a lot of big like Ariana Grande and Jeremiah and things like that. And he told me, bro, you should get an admin deal. Like, why you don't just get an admin deal? So basically what an admin deal is where they just go and collect payments for you, and then they pay you out, and they will give you a lump sum for a percentage of your catalog, okay? For just administering, and they're collecting all of the payments from all over the world, and they're gonna take a percent and give it to you. Now, admin deals are usually much, much smaller than normal co-publishing deals, and the terms are usually a lot more favorable. So I happened to be in Sweden one day. I used to hang out in Sweden a lot. I was getting a lot of placements in Sweden, selling a lot of beats in Sweden as well. And I ended up meeting this girl in the studio. I was in the studio with some chicks, and then we ended up going out to eat. And I was talking to her. Her name was Anna, Swedish white girl, beautiful. And we're out having dinner. And I find out that her uncle is the owner of a record label called Cobalt. Now, Cobalt is a publishing company, and they are actually based in Sweden. They're worldwide, but their headquarters is in Sweden. And her uncle is the freaking owner of the entire thing. So I told her what I had going on, and she was able to set up a meeting with me and him at the head office. A couple of days later, I go down, meet everybody on the Cobalt team, meet the head owner. His name is Johan. And we ended up working out a deal for $80,000. Okay? So I'm like, take $80,000 for 2 years, and they're just collecting my money and sending it to me, or take $450,000 for 7 years, and I'm locked into a contract with a label. What would you have done in this situation? I ended up taking the admin deal because I felt like, I listen to smart people. Like, I asked people that were smarter than me what they would have did, and this is what they said they would have did. Just like you guys are listening to me, I also take advice from people that have done the things that I wanted to do. And that's one of the things that I think that you definitely should lock in on. If you're not in a community and surrounded by people that are doing the things that you want to do and have accomplished the things that you want in life, then you need to change your circle, bro. You need to get around those type of people so that we can start showing you how to get placements, how to get sales, how to get your foot into the industry, how to believe in yourself, how to really make this shit happen. I want to invite you guys to join my VIP community. The link is down in the description. All you got to do is click the link, and you're also going to get access to all of my drum kits, multi-kits, MIDI kits, melody kits, everything that I got to offer. All of the classes about how I network as a producer, how you can brand yourself as a producer, how you can start finding clients and charging artists and start selling more beats and getting yourself into these opportunity zones that I like to call. Click the link down below, join, learn, grow. I'll see you guys in there. So I ended up taking the admin deal, right? And to be completely honest, this ruined the relationship that I had with the guy that I was working with in the UK, because he was making plans on his 80 grand that he was about to get, the 20% that he was about to get off of this deal. You know what I'm saying? So he was furious when he found out that I was not going to take the deal. You know what I'm saying? He was like, bro, because that was like life-changing money for him. You know what I'm saying? He was planning to pay his kids college and shit like that. But I'm like, bro, you're getting paid to do nothing. Like, how can you expect me to pay you 20% when you're not even really negotiating? The lawyer's negotiating. You're just, walking me in the building? I could walk myself in the building, bro. I'm not paying you 20% to just, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So he was really mad. And you know, I understand that, but at the end of the day, I gotta look out for me because nobody in this music industry is gonna look out for you, bro. You have to be your own security. You gotta look out for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody will try to take advantage of you in this industry at some point in time, and you gotta be ready. And you gotta understand that you have to have your own back at all times. Okay, don't just give anybody trust that they haven't earned. Okay, everybody doesn't have the same good heart as you. Everybody's not gonna try to look out for you and do the right thing. And I want you guys to understand that and realize that and just move with that. Like, it's okay to make friends in this industry and get close and be cool with people, but don't ever think that they're going to put their needs above yours in this industry, okay? You got to be having your own back, okay? So, long story short, I ended up taking the admin deal, $80,000. I recouped it. They gave me another $80,000. And I'm still working on recouping that right now. So, it worked out perfectly, worked out great. I can still go get a pub deal at any time that I want. I still own all of my catalog, and I'm still getting paid every single day from music that I've been doing throughout my entire career. I'm still getting paid from songs that I've done 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 6 years ago. I just got a placement last week. Still getting, like, I'm just building a catalog. The end game for producers, if nobody's ever told you guys this, is to build up your catalog and sell your catalog at the end of your career. That's the retirement plan for producers. It's not make beats until you're 60 years old. It's make beats, get a lot of placements, get a large catalog and ownership, and then you sell that because you can sell that for millions of dollars. I had a friend of mine just sell his catalog for like $22 million. I had another friend of mine sell his catalog for like $10 million. You know what I'm saying? So that's the end goal. That's like where you're going with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you're interested in getting into the game and really starting to get placements and starting to really make money from your beats and do this shit full time, quit your 9 to 5, click the link down below. Join the VIP community. I'm going to show you guys everything that you need to know to win as a producer, starting with absolutely nothing. And check out my other videos. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys would have did in this situation. And I'll see you guys in the next video. So I want to share a quick story, explain with you who I am and what I do. My name is Damane. I'm a music producer from Atlanta, Georgia, and I don't work with the biggest artists in the world: Drake, Gunna, Lil Wayne, Young Thug, Lil Baby. You name it, 21 Savage, I don't work with them. And not only was I able to do that, I done spent the last 3 years helping hundreds of producers just like you start from absolutely nothing and start selling their beats, getting their first sales, getting their first placements, getting their first plaques, even some people getting record deals, bro. You need to surround yourself with people that have accomplished the things that you want to do in your life if you want to win. And that's why I created the Producer Pathway. What is that? The Producer Pathway is the #1 community for producers where we're growing, learning, connecting, and simplifying the process of producing. You're going to get access to 5 hours of course videos taught by me. You're also going to get all of my kits, all of my loops, all of my MIDI packs, every single thing that I have to offer. You're going to get. Also, I'm going to give you a copy of my newest book, Brick by Brick, where I started from absolutely nothing and told the story about sleeping in my car to working with Drake and working with the biggest artists in the world, how you can do the same thing. You're also going to get access to the Bricks Academy Lite, which is a super light version of my 6-week-long program where producers learn how to sell their beats, get placements, start networking, and start getting progress. You need to be around people that build you up instead of break you down, and that's why we do weekly Zoom calls with the industry's top producers so you can connect with them one-on-one and start networking. Bro, but everybody that's on this video right now, I'm gonna do something so special. I'm gonna offer all of this stuff at a price that is truly ridiculous. If you're a music producer or a beat maker, this community is for you. Lock in right now and become a founding member before the price goes up, guys. You're gonna be getting weekly calls, kits, MIDIs, plug-in presets, melodies, copy of my book, a copy of my course, a copy of my... Actually, I just did a viral content creation guide. I also put that in there. It's a whole bunch of awesome stuff, guys. The time to act is now. Join the community. Just remember, sometimes it's the smallest decisions that could change your life forever. Get around people that are winning, that can show you that everything that you need to know to take your career to the next level. This could change everything for you guys. Click the link, join the community, and I'll see you guys there.